Hey, AFTERBUZZ TV fans, tune in now for the series premiere of Shooter, Point of Interest.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, this is the Shooter After Show. Welcome. This is premiere episode. Pretty good stuff. I'm your host, JB. You can follow me at Hey John Blake.
And I am Desola Balogun. You can follow me at Desola B on all social networks.
Nice, nice. Keep it easy.
Yeah.
Simple, streamlined. We'll have another joining us on the panel next week. She couldn't make it this week.
We miss you already.
Yeah, we'll meet her soon enough. Let's jump right in. I mean, pretty crazy episode. Shooter is obviously based off of a movie, which is actually based on a book. So a lot of based on. But that means there's a lot of good content. You know, the book obviously has more than the movie could fill, so they hopefully will fill those gaps with this show. A lot went down.
Yes.
So far, I mean, in relation to the movie, just to get all of that stuff out real quick, it covered a lot. I mean, almost everything the main event of the movie was handled all in this episode, and obviously for TV purposes.
On the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, we only have 45 minutes, exactly. So they got to work. I mean, we started in the woods with the wolf, ended being framed by a massive
Which blew
conspiracy.
my mind. But I saw it coming.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Because throughout when he was introduced, you know, what his name exactly was Jack Payne, played by Eddie McClintock.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
The cop.
Yeah, because you said being
Yeah, the
framed.
bad
I
guy,
saw
the
it
frame
coming
guy.
once he was there. I was like,
Cool. Yeah. He something was amiss.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
yeah, he had issues with him from the beginning. He's like, oh, he doesn't seem too impressive to me, you know?
Well, no, I mean, sometimes you can just like see or like smell the bad guys. You know, you're just like something's off about this dude. And I was getting that vibe for sure. I mean, when they were in the car, he was calling out Bob Lee Swagger. Whenever anyone calls out the main character, red flag.
Every time that they spoke about him, he was something negative, and you saw the looks he gave him, like when they were
Just Debbie Downer.
Yeah, he's like, no, he's like, are you sure? I don't think so. I'm like, of course you're the guy to do it, of course.
Wait, sorry. What's the character's name? The negative Nancy cop
His name
guy?
is Jack Payne.
Jack Payne. Oh, what a classic
He's a
baddie
He's a
name.
Payne, of course.
Love that. Anyway, so we're back. Rewind to the woods.
Sorry, you guys, we got super
Carried
into it
away a
already.
little
Yeah.
bit. Rewind to the woods. Bob Lee Swagger, Ryan Philby, Felipe. I don't know if you.
It's Philippi. I looked it up
Is
before
it?
the show
Is it?
started. I said we're
It
gonna
is
get this
Philippi.
right. It's Philippi.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we won't butcher
good
that
job.
moving forward. Anyway, in the woods, looking like downscope to a wolf. You think he's gonna kill it? He actually frees it from this bear trap thing, and proceeds to kick the crap out of these hunters. I think it reminded me of, because he was like, yeah, are you a dentist or something? He's like, orthodontist.
It reminded me of the bear thing or the lion.
Yeah, the lion.
The lion. Yes.
Lucille?
I don't know what the lion's
Yeah.
name was, but I know that's been referenced in a lot of shows. I
Totally.
was watching Family Guy the other day, and it was referenced in that too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, a nice little pop culture reference.
Sorry.
That was a
Yeah.
while ago. That was pre-Harambe and everything. But still, of note, because I definitely remember that. But pretty cool. It kind of establishes him as like a do-gooder guy. He cares about nature and sort of, it's obviously, he mentions it being a legal
it threw
thing
me off
too.
a little bit though. I felt like it was a lot for like that first few minutes. I was
Right.
like, wait, what's happening? This is too much going on right now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, I guess that was to let everyone know this is who the character is, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure who he is, if we're being honest.
Well,
Because
I
there's-
mean, we didn't get that deep into character development. Obviously, we saw
Yeah.
just a little pieces so far because it's only been one episode.
But it was like everything about him was he was good and then he was not good and then he was good. You know, like from what other people were saying.
Totally.
So I'm really confused.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, what are some of the things that he didn't think were good when he like tranked both of those guys?
Well, no, I mean that was fine. It's not that I didn't think that he was. I'm not sure if he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Right.
Only because of
You're not sure.
No, I'm not
Okay.
sure because in the beginning he did something good. You know, he like freed the wolf or whatever. You know, don't kill the wolf. That's good. But then
That is good. Saving the animals.
It's just good. Yes, we love them. So, but then you remember like it started to go on, and then I wasn't sure like if he was supposed to be working with Omar Epps' character with Isaac Johnson. You know, I wasn't sure if he was supposed to be working with them, and then he was on like the watch list, and then like so I'm like I'm not sure, is this a good guy or is he a bad guy?
Totally,
Yeah,
totally,
you know?
yeah.
So it's kind of, what do you think
Well, I
so far?
I think he's a good guy.
You do?
And I think he is. I mean, again, spoiler, in the movie, he's also a good guy.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I don't know, the whole, like, he's obviously set up in the end, as we saw. So I think he just has always been good. I mean, there's a deeper conspiracy, I think, at play here, and he's just more of like a pawn that they're using as kind of a scapegoat.
yeah, you kind of just that's jumping, so I'll wait until we get
Totally.
there.
We'll get
but
there.
what you just said actually makes sense because he was on the list. Ironically, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then remember she brought
Yeah,
it up.
I mean, she brought
Yeah.
it's that's sort of the seed that
Yeah.
they were planting. Oh, maybe he's a
She brought up
suspect.
that he was on there, and then her boss,
Right.
who obviously does not like her, was like, and we're talking about Memphis, Asian
Yes,
Memphis.
yes.
You know, her boss, who did not like her, obviously was like, oh yeah, Bob Lee, oh whatever. But so I feel like he's a bad guy.
Totally. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I feel like he's. Did you see that?
That would be no. I love that scene. It's an interesting point of view. I kind of want that to be the case because
Yeah, I feel like he's a bad guy because he
interesting.
was so like just oblivious to it, like, oh whatever. Yeah.
Right. We know the FBI guy.
Yeah, you
is a
remember,
bad guy.
well, no. You remember when Agent Memphis?
yeah.
You remember when she took in like the
the files.
Yeah, and was like, oh,
The
okay,
shoot.
there's one guy on here who was odd because he was an ex-marine, da da da. And he
Talking
like
about
just,
Bob Lee.
yeah,
of course.
and he just brushed her off like whatever, like I
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah.
you're talking about. I feel like has something to
Okay,
do
yeah,
with it.
you feel like that totally.
Yeah.
I think that guy. I mean, he was very aloof, so that makes me think like he could either be a bad guy or just stupid.
I think he's a bad guy.
Yeah, 'cause,
we're
I mean,
gonna see. But
he's
I-
obviously high up. He's Memphis's boss, so he has to have some skills to get that far in life.
do you feel like he doesn't like her? I feel like he doesn't like her.
He does not treat her very
feel like he
well.
doesn't like her at
I mean,
all.
she is like a disgruntled employee
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, she kind of went out of her not jurisdiction, but her department to talk to Omar Epps' character, who's in the Secret Service, completely different like branch of government, to give him that information. And I don't think she would have done that had she felt comfortable in
Like,
her
if her boss
job
actually
situation.
took
or
her
if she
seriously.
clearly does not feel appreciated. I mean, he said pretty not nasty stuff, but very backhanded compliments. Like, oh yeah, I know you're trying, but
Try harder.
I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, dude, chill.
I mean, and then remember when he said, "Oh, they need some extra bodies down there for the president." She's like, "I'm really
Yeah.
busy. Okay, I'll send you." He
Just
said-
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Just it wasn't like he
she's
wasn't
like-
really giving her a chance, even though she said like, no, I can't do something.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you're doing it.
He wasn't down.
That's funny because it's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I like that scene a lot because there's so many times in the media and stuff when things go down, when international events like tragic stuff that we've seen, unfortunately, a lot of this year happen. There's always like a report afterwards, like, oh, they're on the FBI watch list or like something to that effect. And to see it from the other side was kind of cool. That's something that was not in the movie. They didn't have like files on him. Obviously they do a number of surveillance and see him like through security cameras, like whatever. We saw him buying bullets. We saw him scouting, like taking pictures.
But that was their way of setting him up.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
you know.
saying. But that extra piece of evidence, kind of beforehand, legitimizing what the FBI does, having like the person that they find and capture with this setup, also corroborated with this, like, oh, we had his file. We actually were looking into him. Like he was a possible suspect before it even happened. That stuff I thought was really cool and really it was an interesting way to kind of. I
It
think.
made you think maybe like, is that how they really do it, kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I've never.
But I'm saying, was it giving you that thought, like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
maybe
yeah.
this
I
is
mean,
how it really
I don't know if
happens?
that's conspiracy setup 101, but I thought it was cool because so many times in real life where when tragic events happen, there's always that line on TV like. It was, they're on the FBI watch
And
list,
they're
or
like,
like they
well,
were
why did they
tapping
let
his
them do
phone or
this,
something.
or
Like,
da, 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 da.
yeah, like, and that never really meant anything to me. So, like, to see it, sort of, to see like what the watch list is. I guess. I mean, they didn't obviously do enough.
Yeah,
a stack
to
of,
see a stack of papers with people's names.
True.
It means
Yeah,
a lot
it wasn't a lot. Yeah, it wasn't a lot. But I mean, it was. I don't know. It put it into like a real life scenario for me. So that was kind of a cool scene. I know it was like very minimal in scope of the show, but it was just kind of cool to see.
It spoke to you. It's okay.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it might have spoken to somebody else out there
for
also.
me. It totally did. Speaking of bringing it home, Bob Lee Swagger's home life. He's got a little adorable baby daughter.
She's annoying.
And you're not a fan.
She's
You're just not
sorry,
a kid person.
You know, and maybe that's what it is. I'm
enough.
sorry for everyone who loved her, but
Desola hates kids.
I was I've been having a conversation. Like, I kind of do, but she was not. She was like annoying me. Like
Really?
she was
Okay.
just asking too many like annoying questions. I'm like, she's like, what did he want? I'm like,
Annoying question.
I'm
She
like,
was
can
asking
you
your
mind-
dad for story time.
No, well, and okay, I wrote that down. Okay, the story time. He was not down for story time at all.
What,
Like
Bob Lee
at all.
Yeah, well, he wanted to go spend time with
Yeah,
his
but
hot
he
wife.
she named like 6 stories, and he was like, nah. And I'm like, dang, like 6?
Yeah.
Like, can you at least tell her 1? Like, my goodness, you know, he wasn't down, so that shows that he thinks she's annoying also. Yeah. I'm sorry, she was just
Fair
annoying
enough.
to
A
me.
bit
yeah.
of a stretch, but I can see where you're going.
Yeah.
He did not want to tell our story, so I will give you that.
But back to your home. Sorry, continue.
We see he's got a home life. You know,
Yes.
he's very settled in kind of the outskirts. He's got like a country home happening on a lake with or maybe the ocean. It's very private residence where he's built his family and you know, his wife and daughter. So he's very much checked out, it seems, like not involved with anything really, just kind of living, you know, out there by himself, like doing his thing.
Yeah.
Doing his thing. So it's interesting when the Secret Service kind of comes to him, basically a former commander or higher up that we see him interactive when he was in the service, when he's in the Marines, come to him with this proposition of, I need your help. The president needs your help. There's a threat that, you know, we draw back to Solotov, a Russian sniper who actually attacked him and his friend in sort of the last tour that they were in.
Solotov is like the guy.
Yeah.
That's who I want to know. I'm like, what does Solotov look like? Okay, did you not think for a second that Jack Payne, I was like, wait, is that Solotov? At the end, that's what I was thinking. Like, is he Solotov? You know, because
Whoa, that'd be a twist.
well, because of what he like set him up. So I was like, wait, is that Solotov? Like, is he the one, or is he working with Solotov? You know, like,
Ooh,
'cause
interesting.
I'm looking really
Deep
far
conspiracy.
down. You know what I'm
Totally, yeah.
saying?
No,
because
that's-
in the beginning, I'm like, he said Solotov, and then it was like the music Solotov, and then the wife. He told his wife, and she was like Solotov. You know, so I'm like, who is Solotov? Like, he must be someone very important. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it was a household name for the Swaggers.
Yeah.
We obviously didn't come into like who it was until he was kind of telling that story about what happened with he and Donnie, his friend who was in the Marines with him. And you know, they were partners, sniper and spotter. They're always working in teams of 2.
And he feels so guilty for his death.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Which he kind of should. Yeah, he kind of told him. Donnie
was like, let's go, let's go south.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my
like, nah.
God, it's telling me.
Just
you
nah,
know?
bro.
Yeah,
We're going-
and Donnie died in like 10 seconds, like after going his direction.
Yeah.
Why didn't he go first?
Yeah.
That's
well, I mean, Bob Lee Swagger said, I'm not going to make that phone call to your parents, I think. And so I'm going first.
Okay.
So that's why.
Yeah, but I just feel like, I mean, yeah, so I feel like that's like one of the biggest things about the show. Like that shows his entire, like, I feel like that's why he's so out of it. Like, you know, like
Right.
he's not in that life with the Marines, and like he's like living in a very secluded place. It's like he's trying to like recuperate from what happened, you know, because you can tell that it's like really weighing on him.
Yeah.
The fact that he's responsible for his
Yes,
death.
he
you know?
definitely seems to have some PTSD stuff going on. I mean, we haven't
is
seen
fair.
like nightmares yet, but he's dealing with a tough thing. He was with his good friend because of a decision he made overriding another.
His friend is
his friend is gone. So it's I think it's too much to say that he completely responsible for his death. But at the same time,
50%.
it's hard not to think that way if you were in that position.
I mean,
like,
any of us would,
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no way to know if they wouldn't have gotten killed or something if they went the other way.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. Look, I'm just like negative Nancy. I'm like,
Yeah,
it was your fault.
It was him. It was all him.
I'm like, it was you.
It's all him. 100%.
If he would have went the other
guilty.
way, he would have been standing right next to you right now.
Court-martialed. Done. But again, in his position, how do you not feel responsible? It's like, I made a decision and he got killed. Like, how do I not connect those two? So tough thing to deal with. Obviously, something he's still going through.
Yes.
Intense stuff.
That's what got me into, like, that's what got
Right.
me, I think. Because I think, like I said in the beginning, was like, I thought it was boring. I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this show. I started with
Just dude likes wolves.
No, I mean,
I
it
don't
was
know.
the wolf, and I said, oh God, no. But then when I started hearing about Donnie, I'm like, okay, who's Donnie? I got a little interested. Once they showed the Donnie thing, I think that's where it got interesting.
Right.
From then on, it was good.
Totally, and I agree with you. I really hope that they go further down those roads in the season. Like, I would love to see sort of the past stuff. Like, we don't know that much about the character other
Well, they
than
have to.
Yeah,
because I mean, why is he on the list?
Exactly.
And then the way that they ended,
Totally.
I mean, the next episode's going to be great because she's like, put your hands up. And he's like,
no,
I'm
exactly.
hungry.
I mean, like, yes, he's a very good sniper, but like, if he's such a great guy,
Yeah.
and even his former commander Omar Epps vouches for him in the car when the cop guy is talking, like, talking trash on
Yeah,
him.
but of course he was.
He,
I mean,
like, completely backs him up and tells a story about how he defended a school of
for
girls
48 hours, right?
for 2 days
Like-
against like 200 enemies, killing like 50 people.
No food or anything.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it is. It's serious.
Like that.
I feel like, okay, when I was watching that and he said that, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, okay, I feel like Solotov and Bob Lee are kind of on the same level. They're both notorious
Totally.
for being
Yeah.
snipers. So I'm kind of like, okay, I almost feel like since they're both at that level, maybe they have a past,
Right.
other than Donnie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really
interesting.
sure, but I was thinking because it's kind of like they're both like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you?
Well, no, I know. That's actually a really good point that made me think about. I wonder if we're ever going to get a perspective from Solotov.
I mean, he has to come somewhere.
I would love if because the like enemy that they're setting up for us to believe is the Russians. Classic enemy for the US. I would love for it to be more of a murky situation where like it's just in a war, it is sort of wartime. Things are different on the battlefield. Like, you can't, they're soldiers fighting each other, sort of ordered by greater powers that be. So I would love if we ever do come into contact with Solotov for them,
We
like,
have to.
not to have like a mutual understanding.
Can you imagine if we didn't, like, the entire season? Like, it's like a Pretty Little Liars. Like, who's A? And it's
Yeah.
like, who's Solotov? You know what I'm saying?
I do. A little bit different than Pretty Little
I mean,
Liars.
obviously, I haven't even seen the
Same
show.
idea.
I haven't seen the show.
Sure.
No,
That's
I have
what they
never
all
seen
say.
Pretty Little Liars in my life. Have you seen it?
I've seen episodes.
Is it?
Yeah.
It has to be
I
a good
don't
show. It was
watch
on
it.
for a long time.
It was. It's a success. Obviously, a winning formula. So
See, I've never
if they're
seen it,
borrowing it
honestly.
from it, that'd be cool. But I want to meet Solotov. I want to see him and Bob Lee Swagger like take down the conspiracy. Let's see. Maybe that's like when he's on the run, he finds Solotov and they like just take down the corruption.
I thought it was going to be a good. Okay, how smart is he? That's what I kept thinking the entire.
True.
Bob Lee's
Interesting.
extremely smart.
Well, he has to have a certain set of skills, like Liam Neeson status. I love those effects when he was on the Scout to kind of figure out the shots. They did like the pencil drawing like over.
Did you feel like you were learning?
I was.
I felt like I was learning.
Oh, dude,
I
that's how
I wrote
you
down
snipe
like
people.
I'm going to learn a lot with this show. Like I mean, I'm not going to use any
Yeah.
of it, but I'm going to learn
Well, no,
something.
yeah, it was a very simple effect, but it was like it looked like it was hand drawn, so it just like was so cool, very like minimalist, but like worked really well. I thought it was like a cool way to show like what he was doing.
How cool was the shot though? Like the shots,
which
the bullet,
one?
the bullets. There was like 3 of them.
I mean, you took several practice shots.
I love the camera shots that they used.
Yes,
for that.
the bullet trace effects were probably like my favorite part of the show.
I
They
really
did
like
those a few times. We had a taste of it like up in the beginning. Then again, when Secret Service first comes to Bob Lee Swagger's house and says like, the CIA guy got killed. They did it with him in the woods.
And then I think with the pumpkin, was that with the pumpkin?
No, that was pre-pumpkin when
Okay.
he was saying like how real this threat was. He was like, yeah, the CIA dude just got killed from like it was like 3/4 of a mile
He's like,
away.
what? Yeah, but the pumpkin was the coolest one because it
Yeah,
was so long.
the
I was watching. I was
pumpkins. He
like,
took
you're still
down many
going.
pumpkins.
Yeah, I was like, it was the beginning, and then boom, he got him.
We actually had a pumpkin in the studio. We should have brought it in here.
Yes,
Could have
the one that
done
Steven was giving
visual
you, right?
aids with the pumpkin and where the bullets hit. You would think if you fired a sniper rifle from like that far away, like the pumpkin would explode. But
I guess it was.
I haven't sniped that many pumpkins.
Well, but
in my
probably
day.
not because like when you shoot someone, they don't explode. Just kind of goes through them. So it's kind of.
Well, how many people have you shot?
I have
Because
not
the
shot
people I
anyone-
shoot explode.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying.
Well, I don't know if I want to be on this with him anymore. I'm not going to make him mad.
You're clearly not using the right bullets if,
No,
if your people aren't exploding. When
No,
you shoot
I
them.
just think that from like what you see like online and stuff. I don't know. People don't blow up when you shoot them, or do they?
Well, I mean, I guess my experience with people getting sniped is only really in movies.
Yeah,
so
I hope so.
it's more of an artistic choice.
Have you
whether
ever,
they
since this show
explode or
is
not.
about like shooting and stuff, have you ever gone to a gun range before?
I have.
How
I
is
have.
that?
It's intense. It is intense.
Is it, like, nerve-wracking?
Not really. I mean, it's like you get a lot of adrenaline because it's like you feel just the power. Like it literally moves your body. It's like depending on the gun. Obviously the bigger rifles and stuff will kick back way more, and so you can feel like the stopping power that you have, and it's intense. It's more of a scary feeling of like how dangerous it really is.
Like guns, yeah.
Right.
I've never gone myself.
Yeah, I've only gone once. I would encourage you, just so you know, like you can understand,
Like how serious they are.
Sort of, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of nervous to go because I feel like there's been stories and whatnot of like people killing people at gun ranges, and I just feel like
Really? Whoa.
Yeah, there was one where you can look it up. It was a mom. She went with her son. This was like I don't know if this was
What?
this year. I'm pretty sure she went with her son, and literally like took him to the gun range and killed him like right there. Like I
Whoa.
swear, like I'm not even
like
lying.
she killed him.
Like yes,
she
and
killed
this
her
was
son.
like on the news, like legit. So that makes me kind of nervous. Like,
Maybe.
And I'm not gonna
I
go
can
with
see your
anyone.
resilience to.
I'm like, I might not go with
going.
anyone who I might have a little issue with.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. We had an argument the other day.
Yeah, I'm
no,
like,
man,
I'm like,
good.
we're not gonna.
I'm
I'm like,
good.
actually, I'm busy. I forgot I have a show to do that day. Sorry, I can't go. Yeah. So,
Totally, yeah.
what do you think
Good
about Nadine though? Like, what is your overall thought about her?
Nadine Memphis. She is an interesting character. I'm trying to figure her out. We didn't get a lot. I mean, we saw that she is frustrated with her job. She's trying to do a great job. She was after this Russian guy.
Did you catch that she shot a hostage?
I did. She said it was a good shot though, so I don't know what that means. I was thinking like because there are scenarios where it's like to de-escalate the situation, you have to, if you took a shot that maybe nicked a hostage
okay. I
and
didn't
got
think
a
about
bad
that.
guy and like saved the day, then it's like okay.
They made it. They portrayed it as
but
if
yeah,
she
I mean,
killed them though.
he was
know?
like, yeah, you shot a hostage, like not
So,
cool.
So maybe
not good.
I mean, I feel like that's one thing about the show. I was thinking that I feel like everyone has something holding them down. Like Bob Lee has the death of Donnie and the fact that he's on that watch list. So we're trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Nadine shot a hostage, and they just like slightly threw that in there. So now we're thinking, okay, is she like what happened with her? So I feel like everything's holding someone like weighing them down a little bit.
Nadine Memphis is interesting. I feel like she's got the most that we've seen. That doesn't mean anything because I'm sure many
most
other sort of skeletons in the closet, I guess.
I kind of feel bad for her, just a little bit.
Fair enough. I mean, we'll see. Maybe she's a bad person.
No,
don't know.
Nadine, you can't be.
I don't know. She shot a hostage.
Yeah,
We just
okay,
talked about
yeah,
that.
but come on.
Well, okay, so let me prove my case a little bit. I'm not saying she's the worst person ever, but she's got some skeletons. She's got some
so?
explaining to do.
Okay.
When she was on that raid, the first time we see her, when she like busts into that Russian bathhouse,
Oh yeah.
she
I forgot.
did not put like that whole thing on like the like joint branch squad, I guess, like war board they talk about. So the Homeland Security is there, and they end up like getting this guy also
Yeah.
conveniently at the same time.
She's like
during the
6
bust.
months worth of work.
Right, and it's like you're gonna work for 6 months and not like post, I guess, on the big bulletin board for all the branches to see.
I mean, but she did ask him if they could work together, and he said no.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I believe the chain of command, like they're above the FBI,
Yeah.
like they don't have to answer.
But when I said I feel bad for her, I feel like they're holding everything against her because even they held against they held the fact that she knew the guy. Remember she said his name, like what was
Right.
his name?
I did
forgot
write
his
it
name,
down.
but she said his
Voidian?
was
I
that
think.
it? Oh. Well, whatever the
so.
guy's name was, Voidian. Let's just say that for now. He, she said like she was like shocked that she saw him there. Remember, and he like ran away from her.
Right.
Yeah. So and then they held that against her too, and they were like, oh, you were working with the guy who had all that. Whatever he was doing wrong, she was working with him, but she didn't know.
Right.
So I feel like everything's just kind of getting thrown at her. Like,
Yeah, she had said he was in the like illegal import biz,
but she didn't know. She didn't know. Remember?
right. But yeah,
felt-
and then
well,
like
my
she was
ex
kind
is
of questioning.
sketching
Yeah,
me,
he was like, yeah, like, well, I mean, would you really do like a raid for that? And she's like, well, I thought it'd be something else, and obviously it was right because you're taking him away, and you won't let me talk to him. So I don't know. It's interesting that she knows more than her pay grade, I think. So I wonder like how she came upon that knowledge. Is she just super curious? Is she corrupt in some ways? Like maybe
She can't be.
What
I
if
don't
she's
feel
a double agent?
I don't feel it. I don't feel it.
You don't
She
feel
can't-
that. You
But,
don't feel that.
But you know what? If she is corrupt, it's gonna like blow my mind.
I don't know. I'm just saying she was also at the scene of the crime at the end. Flash forward to
Yeah, but she was there because remember she was walking. Well,
she just happened to be
Yeah,
walking
yeah, but
there.
no,
I'm just
but-
saying
no,
the
but
only
she-
other person there was the cop.
yeah, but same thing. She just happened to be walking out of the coffee shop right when Bob Lee
convenient.
ran
Convenient.
by.
There's a lot of Starbucks everywhere.
But I mean, yeah, so
Starbucks everywhere.
I'm just saying.
I'm
No,
just
you're
saying.
right though. She did kind of say, "Hey, but I don't think. No, there's no way. There's no way."
Okay. Yeah, I know. I
don't
think
think
that's.
so.
I'm not. That's
you
not
never
my
know, though.
prediction.
I mean, you never know. You might
I
be
think
right.
that would be an interesting twist, though, if she was involved, sort of in a deeper
I
conspiracy.
can't. I like her already. Like Agent Memphis.
Really? Okay.
She's kind of my. I don't want to say she's my. I like her. I
Yeah.
do like her. I don't know what
Alright,
it is. I feel kind of bad. Who's your favorite so far?
Ooh. I mean, the wife's pretty hot. I do
Yeah.
like her. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I have to go with Bob Lee Swagger. He's clearly got the skills to do everything.
He's smart, but like I said, I'm not sure who he is. Like if
right.
I know it's the first episode, but you can kind of tell. I'm not sure if he's good or if he's bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, he's okay, But
Totally.
Nadine is my favorite. I really don't like his daughter. We know that. We already said that.
Yeah,
His daughter
just
and I are
that's set in
we're not
stone.
friends.
Yeah.
So she can be out of every episode. Like we don't need her anymore. And yeah, so yeah. And I really don't like Payne either because he's a pain.
Yeah. No. I'm on that train
Pain
for
is
sure.
a
I'm on the
pain.
hate pain bus.
But
for
I'm
sure.
really excited for the next episode though.
Totally. Yeah. No. I'm got my eye on Nadine. I don't
No,
know.
Nadine, she's good.
I'm not watching her.
Nadine's a good
Watching
one.
her. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, what do you think about Omar Epps' character? Because he, I mean,
he's very
was
powerful.
friends with Bob Lee Swagger and is obviously very high up in the whole Secret Service chain of command. He's got to know a lot of information. At the same time, do you think he's involved?
God, we're coming up with too many conspiracy theories. I'm over
we
here
haven't
like I don't
seen
know.
anything definitive.
I don't think. Yeah, I was gonna
all
say. I feel
we
like
know
he's just there.
is Payne is obviously in on it because he's just
Yeah.
happened to be right there, like at the scene of the crime.
Well, he tried to kill him. So. I mean,
Totally. Yeah. No. Again, he tried
Yeah,
to shoot him.
yeah.
So.
Oh,
again,
so you're saying?
a
Well,
lot of red flags.
Yeah,
for
but I don't
Payne.
think Omar Epps' character, which is Johnson,
Really?
Isaac Johnson. I don't think he's in on it because I feel like. No, he's not in on it. He can't be.
Really, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I
don't
think
feel
he's
like-
totally in on it.
On
'Cause
like no, he's not.
what's his name? Major Payne, cop Cop Payne. What's the
Major Payne, like
yeah,
the movie.
exactly. Good
Jack
movie.
Payne.
Jack Payne.
Yes.
I don't think Jack Payne had the wherewithal to set all that up by himself.
Yeah, but all these people are so smart. Like, it's just kind of okay. Speaking
I
of
don't.
that,
Yeah, I don't think Payne is.
I mean,
don't think he's one of those people.
No, I don't think. I really don't think Ed Johnson is in on it. There's no way.
Really?
I don't think so.
I disagree. I
How
think,
though? Like,
I
what
think
made you
he's-
think that
Well,
he's?
he knew about Bobby Swagger. He knew like what his buttons
he
were
knew
by
because
like
he worked
pulling
with
on
them.
this like Solotov stuff. Speaking of which, real quick,
Okay.
the satellite photo of Solotov, like, come on, dude, it's like a infrared image.
I thought he was
like,
in space
night
when I
vision,
first saw it, if I'm
like
being honest.
from
I
a
was like-
drone. Like, it's a dude, you can't even see his face,
I
which
was
is
like, is
holding
that
a
an
sniper rifle.
astronaut? That's
But
what
they
it looked
can
like.
apparently confirm it's him,
Yeah.
A, and B, like what type of gun setup he has down to the scope. Like,
Oh, so you think that
impressive.
was like a fake picture or something?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know if it's a fake picture. It looks real enough, but I don't know how much we can infer from that. Again, we saw it like sort of off to the side, so I didn't take a detailed look at all of the schematics.
I
they
don't.
had.
You know, I mean. See now I'm excited to watch the next episode because of all these people you're saying because we're like
I'm
on,
just saying,
we're like on
there's
two different
there's
teams
a lot of
here.
loose ends right now.
I'm like
This is
team
episode
Memphis,
one.
kind of team Bob Lee, but I don't think Johnson has anything to do with
Really?
it. I really don't because
Okay.
he
He's
didn't-
so high up in the Secret
Yeah,
Service
but
though. He's
that-
got to know everything.
But I don't know. I don't think he is. But okay, speaking of knowing everything, do you think that they're gonna? Well,
He's like the Nick Fury of the Secret Service right now.
I don't know who Nick Fury is.
He really Samuel L. Jackson from the like Avengers movies. You know?
Oh no, I don't watch that.
Alright.
Never.
Well,
I'm not
check
a
him out.
I'm not a
They're pretty cool.
superhero type of movie person.
Fair enough.
Except
No
Spider-Man.
superhero, no
No.
kids
Spi-
for
Right,
Desola.
Spider-Man though.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So there's exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
Back to Shooter.
I said, do you think that they're gonna hold it against Bob Lee for like messing up?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he was, obviously found at the scene of the crime. There was one when he was at his house. When he goes home after he does all the whole report thing, he goes home and he's like really feeling awkward about being in his shed. Like something's wrong. He finds like a tack on the ground. But he just like feels it's just like a very awkward feeling.
Somebody was there.
It was a cool scene actually though. I thought it was well put off because I got that feeling that like he knew something was off, but he didn't say it. He didn't like they didn't spoon feed it to you like something's amiss here.
I mean, it was obvious, but he
Yeah.
didn't say it because first of all, he didn't want to scare his
But that's what I
wife
mean. Like
and his daughter.
they made it obvious with the shooting style. Like he
Yeah.
literally just walked in and just through the camera angles and stuff made it so obvious that like, he was feeling funny about like the situation. Like
Do you
not
think
enough
you'd
to
notice that safety pin or that tack on the floor?
I don't know. I mean, it shows his attention to detail. I would most definitely not notice that. But then again, my no part of my place is that clean. So ever.
Okay, well, that's
so
fair.
again, I don't think. Yeah, he's a very organized person. So I think. I mean, literally, like to an OCD level, like the photos were like evenly spaced.
But that's good. Is that not good? That's
No,
like,
it's a good problem to have.
I
I
like
would,
that,
I would,
yeah.
I would welcome that into my life, because I don't think anyone doesn't like being organized. It's
just hard to
it's
be
the
organized.
doing the organization that's the issue.
You're not organized at all.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not like a horribly like slob, but I don't know. I mean, there's a trade-off between like time that you have to like do what you need to do, and
That's
and
okay. That's
organization.
always everyone's excuse. Everyone who's messy.
Well, no, it's just a value thing. Like he obviously probably prioritizes being very organized.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
again,
but like I said, he has to for his job. He
Yeah.
has to be very meticulous and know
very
everything.
meticulous. That's
Yeah.
a perfect way to put it. I mean, he's got to be his attention to detail is like got to be so.
Which
on
I
point.
don't think it's possible. Like I'm like, okay, what kind of person is able to plan out like, okay, he planned on every, like he told them every like thing that could happen.
Right.
Like,
yeah, no,
he's
I
gonna be here,
love
he's gonna be
that
here, he's
too.
gonna be here.
I
I'm
love that they went through like multiple
crazy
options.
to
like
me.
he figured out like 3 ways for it to go down and like went through all of them.
Like, is that possible for a human being? Like, as he was so detailed, but I guess if you're trained in it, but that was
Right.
crazy. I was very impressed by that.
Well, yeah, he's good at his job.
Yeah, I was extreme. I was like, I want a little bit of that. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think again he's more of the extreme where it's like it's such an uber level of calculating that I think it. I mean, it's not weird, but like not normal, not necessarily a bad thing.
but not normal.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. I don't think most people do that.
I don't think
And just,
anyone.
like,
Okay, yeah, I don't think
calculate,
anyone
like, sniper
in,
shots from like shot.
I don't think anyone
buildings
in
and-
that
and
type
such.
of field can be normal or is normal. Like what I mean, like CIA agents and everything, like they have to think a little more.
Well, yeah, a
into
lot of it
things.
is obviously the training.
Yeah.
They conditioned you to think certain ways and to do certain things, but. Obviously, I'm very thankful that there are people like that because they protect us.
Yeah, they
like
save
that's
us.
the best. That is what all you vets out there. Thank you again,
Yes.
doing us a solid, keeping us safe. at
No,
home.
seriously.
But yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, I'm so happy that there are people that can do that, can stay up for 2 days, taking down like
Isn't that insane?
militias, protecting schools that they have like, no real tie to.
So when you watch these shows, okay, I was watching this show and I was thinking, how much of this stuff do you think is actually like real? Like, and what I mean is
Like how
how it
real
happens
people?
and well, no, like how it happens and whatnot. So they'll say like how he planned all that stuff out and how he like the 48 hour, all that stuff. I'm thinking, okay, does this really happen like in real life or are they just making this up? Like, how much of it do you think is like, do they actually research and say, okay, this is how you would how a sniper would do this, that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was really thinking that when I was watching the
Totally.
show.
I mean, that's a very good question. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in the Secret Service, so I don't know how extensive their
Well, in your
recon is.
personal opinion,
That
like-
said, yeah, I think they do close though at that level. I don't think it's that intense where they like bring back retiree snipers to just do like, hey, how would you?
But if you're that
you
good,
had
though.
to kill him, how would you?
I feel like that
maybe
could
they do.
happen if you're that
Honestly,
good.
maybe they do. Like, I think that there hasn't been a president that's been assassinated in a long time.
they tried to do
So-
Reagan though. That wasn't that long ago. Well, that was like
Right.
the 80s though, right?
Right.
The end of the 80s.
Right. But I mean, since then, that's the last. I mean,
Well,
that's
that
like
we've known.
actually been a thing.
You mean that's actually gone through?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I guarantee
sure
that
they
there's
try to do it
a
every day.
bunch more that like go, that they stop, and we
Mm-hmm.
just don't hear about it because they, successfully kiboshed the.
Well, since you
assassination
brought up the president and him getting assassinated, what do you think about like the effect that they did? I thought it looked really fake.
Oh, when you see his
the
head
brains, like-
totally
I was-
exploded. I mean, we didn't
Oh,
see
you're-
it
okay, but-
in real time, but
Yeah, but that's
it's
fair.
it
Yeah, but
like
it didn't
went
explode.
everywhere.
That's like
It
because
went-
his face was still intact. It
Oh,
was just the back.
interesting.
Yeah, I saw because he was like,
in the news thing.
like in,
we-
on this show.
Wait, are we talking about the guy that was killed in the woods, or the
No, the
whoever was
president.
killed
That was the president who was shot.
right at the
end, 'cause you were
at the
talking-
end.
yeah.
yeah.
the-
But his brains were like all over the windshield.
But his head
of
didn't
the
explode
car.
though. It was just the
Okay,
back of
fair
it.
enough.
But what did
Maybe
you
the
think
back
about the
exploded.
effect on the show? I thought it looked really fake. Immediately I was like, that looks fake. I don't know.
With the bullet or the blood
the-
everywhere.
Just all of it. It didn't look.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little graphic. I wonder.
I like
if,
that.
This show was supposed to air actually in July of the summer, and they pushed it back because of several shooting events, real life shooting events
That happened,
and so maybe they dialed that back. Maybe they were it was more of a realistic type of gore moment, and they dialed it back and made. It
I mean, that
more
was.
like-
I mean, it was graphic though, like you
Right.
said. So I mean, I just thought it looked fake. I was like, that doesn't look like brains. But I guess,
Right, but
I don't know what
I
it
mean,
looks
like
either,
in like
though.
a Tarantino-y way, like his where there's like spouting blood everywhere. Like that doesn't happen. Again, I've never assassinated anybody. So I'm
all this stuff
pretty
you're saying, I'm
sure-
sitting over here like I
pretty
don't know
sure
about this guy.
90%. There's
Yeah.
no fountains of blood.
Okay.
But you never know. There's only one way to find out.
I don't know if I trust you.
There's
now.
only one way. We're gonna do some testing after the show.
gonna
We
go
will
to the
need a
gun range
volunteer.
and tell you
You're
guys
good,
what
though,
we-
right? You're not doing anything after this.
Testing of shooting people.
No, you can just
No, I'm done actually. Yeah,
Awesome,
no, I'm not a part of that one.
next time. then.
Yeah.
next time.
No.
But yeah, again, to the whole testing thing, I thought it was so cool how they broke it down and how like intensely thought out each one was. I mean, he came with 3 options that were all like, again, to use your word, meticulously planned out to a T, like to the tune of wiring like a device to break the
glass
window.
and
Like, because that would be like have you like an extra layer of cover. Like that is next level planning.
like I wish I could
that's
think like
intense.
that. Like I wish my mind was like
Right.
that's crazy. That's insane, you know? So that's what I meant by like I wonder if they really have someone. But I guess they have to.
Yeah, no,
guess they have
I
to
guarantee
have
that,
someone who does that.
that's what the Secret Service job is
Yeah.
to assess like everything. I think they purposely pick places that don't have like a lot of possibilities at all. They probably now keep public appearances to a minimum. They keep everybody very much in the dark. I do actually know. My sister lived in New York, and there was a time where there was like this event where Obama was being present, sort of at this gala event, and they literally like shut down the streets. They didn't tell anybody beforehand like that it was happening, so she just was trying to go home one night and just like couldn't.
Well, but I mean, it makes sense because if people know, if they have, I don't know, even an hour, they can set something up.
This is insane. Like how a tribute to how good the Secret Service is. Because she was a resident and like proved that she was allowed to go back to her apartment, which was conveniently overlooking the event, and so she like looked at her window and like saw what was going on, took a photo with her camera, and
they found it.
Like literally instantly the Secret Service came to her door.
What?
Talked to her about it, got like her phone and like saw the picture and like had her.
Are you serious?
It. Yeah.
So they were like watching
that.
How?
Yeah.
Wow. But
and she was like, "Yeah, I was up in my window for like maybe 5 to 10 seconds, like just to like see it, take a picture."
That's
and I was,
insane.
Like, walked away. I was
well,
like,
because
what?
she could have been like a crazy person who was,
easily, I mean, they don't know. They have to take every thread, as dangerous as it possibly could.
I mean, no wonder why the presidents age so fast. Do you see all those like pictures of like how they age?
The memes of like Obama when like on day 1 to now are insane.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
Good luck, Donald Trump. Like he's gonna look
they
like
already posted
the Crypt
one
Keeper.
of him. Yeah. They posted one of him already, like of how he's gonna look, and it's just crazy.
Not good because he's not
he's already
walking
old.
in. Great.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, can you imagine like it's like everywhere you go, every single day, you're like stressed out about so many things, and on top of that,
you think your job's
on
stressful?
top of that, you're gonna like you can
the
die
free
every
world.
day. Like on top, I mean, I guess we all can, but on top of that, like someone's always
there's literally like
trying to kill you.
Organizations around the globe like wanting to assassinate.
That's crazy.
It'd be hard to sleep at night for sure.
Very.
Again, Secret Service very good at what they do. Thank you again, guys.
That's why they get the Secret Service like after they're done with the presidency, right? Like forever. How long do you know?
Yeah, no. For presidents, you get it forever.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, so much that like you're.
But that's like. But I wonder. Okay, I'm gonna Google it.
If they captured like a previous president, you obviously know like all of the secrets, so it's just as dangerous as finding like an actor.
But I wonder if they're like at their house with them still. No,
they've
like for the rest of their life.
I mean, they dial it back a little bit, but you get like Secret Service.
But they
peeps.
still the other day, like a month ago, I was on Melrose, and Bill Clinton was at some coffee shop, and I thought it was like they were literally
really?
like
Nice. That's cool.
There were like 10 like cop cars like just like on the corner, and then there was like so many Secret Service, and I thought it was like the president, like the current president was there,
right?
And then I walked in. And I'm like, oh,
that's just
still,
Bill.
Yeah, I mean, not just, but exactly.
He could have been the first man.
And how many years ago was he president? So imagine, like,
but I mean, a little bit of a different scenario because he was almost again in the White House.
Yeah, that's fair.
So maybe he's had more beefed up, but at the same time, again, like you have to keep that, like they're almost as high priority as any president or any sitting president because they know everything. I mean,
and they still have people who don't like them. Who's still against them, or
and if they were ever to be captured and tortured and stuff, there's like that would be devastating.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. I don't want to be president.
Totally.
No,
but I mean, you do get to be called Mr. President.
I don't need
forever.
that. It's okay.
That's pretty cool. It's like there's doctors pretty legit.
Yeah, but think about it,
Mr. President.
We're in entertainment.
Like
we can change our names to Mr. President if we want, and that'll just be who we are. And people call
but I mean,
us
it's
that.
a title. It's like, because you still have your name and you are Mr. President.
No,
I don't know if it's worth the responsibility because there's a lot. There's a bit. I don't know if
Donald's gonna find out very soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rude awakening.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, again, the stress level. You said it so well. Like, look at the photos of Obama. Like 8 years, not that long of a time.
At all. Like most people don't really.
Dude has aged like at least 20 to 30 years.
And it's sad though because he would have looked so great if he would have never been the president. I mean, not saying he shouldn't have been, but I'm just saying, like, he probably looks back. Like, you know what I think about? Like, they probably are thinking like, what in the world did I get myself into? I mean, they have to think
Yeah.
that.
No,
There's no
absolutely.
way they
I
don't.
guarantee they do.
Like what?
I bet he thought that every day. I mean, I think he did a great job. You know, I think we're in a good place. I like where we are in America. Hopefully, we can have that continue and with Donald Trump as president. But I think, you know, it's insanely stressful. There's no way that like a human being can handle that and not be like, well, I wish I could just take a TO
He's super cool,
and
though.
like retire real quick.
He was super cool though. That was good. Like
Yeah.
I was watching some like video. Like he did like this. What did he do? He did like, you know, like I don't know what the name of the network was, but he did like a parody, kind of like a funny video of like what he's gonna do after and whatnot. I'm like,
Right.
he's like, you're cool. You know, like he's like a cool president. So thank
Yeah.
God for all the Bob Lees out there who kept him safe.
Totally.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, I again, I don't know how many there are, but they obviously do a great job because again, we haven't had a major situation, an assassination, take place in a long time, and I think that's
Thank God.
Yeah,
And let's keep it that
totally.
way.
And you know, obviously, I guarantee it's not for lack of trying because we've had so many incidents this year alone. We've had so many that this show was postponed twice because of shooting. So obviously, the guns are, you know, getting out of control, and people are using them.
What do you think about that when they do that? When they like, because we know that the show is about something that didn't really happen. So what do you think about it when they like postpone shows based on what's happening?
I have mixed feelings. I think, you know, sometimes they do it for the right. They can do it for the right reasons because it's, you know, it can be so similar to real life events. Like people are kind of, you know, don't want to see it even in a fictional way. At the same time, I think, you know, it's fantasy. It's kind of like, you know, we don't always have to do that, and I think that
Like it's okay.
right, that it's okay, and this day and age when there's so much great shows out there and so much media, like people that want to watch certain stuff will always find it, and I don't think violence is going away like anytime soon, unfortunately. So I think it's always going to be something around, and I don't. You know, some part of me thinks that, you know, you give like there's a lot of power that's swayed, like when we change our lifestyle to work around like tragic events. You almost give something back to the heinous person that committed it. At the same
Like
time,
power,
yeah,
in a way.
right. At the same time, you kind of have to, you know, like there should be sort of a mourning period, and you have to respect the victims and their families, like that may not want it to be taken lightly. And I could see them seeing a fictional show kind of about it in that light. At the same time, I think this show doesn't do that. I think it respects everybody in service. We'll see who's corrupt.
With the commercial
and
too.
not. Yeah, they had the PSA with about fallen heroes and how to you know get help back to the people that serve, and I think that's great.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see how they mourn the president next week.
Yes, we will, and we'll see who's corrupt and who isn't.
Yes.
Hopefully. But I guess it's going to unfold in the series to come. We've got 10 episodes. 9 are left. We'll see more next week. Until then, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Desola B everywhere, and on YouTube also at Desola.
Awesome. And you guys can find me at Hey John Blake on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. Nice. See you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.